Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to Strike Fighters 2. Flying the A4 Skyhawk off the USS Coral Sea on September 27th, 1967 with VA-153. It's been a long month in real life, so let's escape by going to war in Vietnam for a little bit. Today's objective is going to be a Iron Hand mission into Vinh. We are to attack and destroy enemy radars and air defense positions in the area. We'll be taking 4 A4Es. Takeoff time at 7:11 in the morning, so bright and early, just after sunrise, a little bit after sunrise, and we are call sign Viper. No bullpup today's. We're going to be doing a rocket and bomb load. So you see on the outer pylons 2 LAU-32A rocket pods, and all 4 aircraft will have that. And then on the inner pylons 4 250-pound Snake Eyes, and then center line is going to be 6 260 pounds fragmentation bombs. Total takeoff weight of 19,120 pounds. Fuel, let's do 75% again. And I think that's what we did last time. And so that should be getting us back to the boat nice and light, so we have a good landing again. We're in aircraft 316, serial number 149959. And again, all 4 Vipers have essentially the same loadout. Oh yeah, I gave 3 10 250-pounders just because. Here's the map for today. See Vinh, pretty close. We'll take off, we'll make landfall just north of K-Fat here. And yeah, come around. We will strike, actually right in the city here is our primary target area. So if you recall last mission, we actually flew by Vinh. On our way out past here, we picked up a lot of flak and even some guided fire control radar. So that'll be what we're targeting this time out. And we are providing cover for a strike group here, Wolfpack. And this is 4 F4 Phantoms off the Coral Sea. And they are from VF-151, the Vigilantes. So they'll be performing the strike in the area. And then we've got some various... Oh, there's an A4 strike into Vinson Army Supply. We have some escorts around. It's kind of a mix here of stuff coming in off the ocean, but our little part of it is going to be going to Vinh, and then Wolfpack is going to be with us. So just the usual in and out round, and then not sticking around after Wolfpack makes their strike. We'll head back out to sea and then circle around for our landing. Today's roster, my number 2, Fred Freckleton. Viper 3 is going to be Lieutenant J.G. Terry Dormouse. And Viper 4 is going to be Mason Sprouse. Also a JG. So we'll have 2 JGs in the second element of the flight. And yeah, me in the lead here. 70 combat missions. So interesting actually though. So that's a nice round number, but in fact, this is my 70th in-game mission, but this will be the 50th U.S. Navy mission, so that's sort of a milestone. I think early on I did a bunch of offline missions in the A1 campaign, which is why the numbers don't quite match. But yeah, this will be 50 episodes. Of course, that's just the USN. That's not counting any of the other series. But I don't know. It's sort of significant. The big 5-0. So anyways, that is the setup there. I think that's everything that we need to go over. We'll get up on deck. We'll get on the catapult. We'll be doing... It's nice weather out, so we'll be doing a Case 1 departure. Staying down low at 500 feet. Do our little juke to the right and then the left. And then we'll begin our climbing... marshalling turn off to the left and get on course. So let's effort that now. We'll see you up there.
Red round
Brakes released, on the roll. Off the deck, good launch. Gears coming up. 2's airborne right behind me. Back onto the boat course. Flaps retracted. We'll let the speed come up as we drop back down to about 500 feet. Radar on out to 40. And we'll bring the throttle back. We just reported, or we just heard that 4 reported that he is off the deck as well, so the whole flight is now up.
Red Crown, 2 now lead, lands in waypoint 3, 2 now 1, Red Crown, copy. Red Crown, all 3, lands in waypoint 3.
You can hear from the radio, busy day already. Everyone is launching, a lot of flights getting up into the sky now.
Red Crown, copy. Approaching our rendezvous point.
And some flights are already forming up at the rendezvous, so we are not even the first flight into Vietnam of the day. We can see it there on the radar, though. So less than 40 miles, about 30 miles maybe away. We're quite close. All right, over onto course there. Now.
50 miles, Angel 5, heading southeast.
All right, we've got MiGs in the area. Oh, we'll climb up a bit. A little bit of ECM turned on, put on a show for the radar operators. And we'll climb up to just 5,000 feet. Actually, no, we'll go up to 6,000 feet, and then I'll drop 1,000 as we cross over the coastline, pick up a little bit of speed as we dive down to 5,000 for the actual ingress in. And there's 6, give or take. And we'll pull back to cruise speed to let everyone catch up behind us. Let's see, so Olds flight and Lion flight to our north. Tomahawk and Trout just coming off the deck of their ship back there. Actually, let's slow down even more then. Let's go down to just about 1.6% on the pressure ratio gauge. So, how you guys been? It has been a long-ass month here. Our air conditioning went out about 4 weeks ago. We're now coming into... Actually, we might be starting week 5 of no AC. The only silver lining is that we haven't hit 110-degree everyday weather yet, but that's coming. That's like every day in July and August is a $110 outside. Although summer has started here about 2 months ago, it's been hot already for a long time. We've been making do. We've had days that are not too bad heat-wise, and the inside of the house stays nice and cool. So I have a lot of fans on me right now, so recording sound might sound a little different, just because I closed the windows and closed the door to the room to try to cut out the outside noise, but I do have fans running so that I don't overheat and just be miserable. So that's going on with that. In other news, the mother-in-law has moved in. That happened this week, so that is now in place. Organization is ongoing. So yeah, there's been a lot of changes going on, and just waiting on some air conditioning repairs. So hopefully it doesn't go too much longer. Otherwise, recording these episodes, it's really going to be as hot as if I'm actually in Vietnam or just deployed in general. I mean, I deployed to the Middle East, and that was plenty hot as well. Everyone's in place. The squad is looking good. Let's bring up the power. We'll nose down to 5,000 feet as we cross over, going feet dry into North Vietnam. 6 miles to go until our waypoint, and then we'll turn off to the right and head up that way to the city of Vinh. Down to 20 miles on the radar. We are picking up some flak. Maybe in the vicinity of the small village here. Nothing on the radar, though. Except for stuff that's, whoa, pretty far away, but that can't be. Whew. Full power. Let's get active here. Wow, they are right on top of us. Oh yeah, look, rounds are coming up behind me from somewhere. Just there, right there. AAA hidden down in the foliage, right beneath us. So far, making it through. Let's switch over to waypoint 4 manually. Come around through the turn here. Dropped down a little far, so back up. Let's get our 1,000 feet back. There we go. There's 5,000. Everybody with me back there? I see 1, 2 dots. There's the third. Give me a third. I think there we go. That's him over there. Right, flight's still with me. What are we going to go in with first? I like to do... Let's do the frag bombs first. And I've got them in pairs of 2 at 100 millisecond interval between the two, so we'll just come over the city, start looking for stuff, seeing what we can light up. The AI, the wingmen, of course, they'll begin with rocket attacks. They'll expend their rockets first before switching over to bombs, so I'll go bombs first, just so we have a nice mix of ordnance dropping down on... dropping down there. Okay, Wolfpack is behind us there. Maybe we slow down a little bit more for them. Let's go take a look. There we go, there's Wolfpack. Loaded out with some bombs for striking. 4 aircraft. They'll be crossing over just a few minutes here. They're going a little slow on the approach. They'll pick up speed once they hit their next waypoint. At this point, though, we are well out ahead of them. Let's see. Olds is just to our right. What is Olds' flight, I wonder? Alright, looks like Olds is another flight of Skyhawks. Possibly heading to that that army base that we saw listed on the briefing. They were heading to an adjacent target. It seemed like it was probably close, so that's them. Do the heads-up display. Yeah, so that's them out to the right. There's Lion flight. Looks like maybe they are engaging someone already, so that's a little scary. Do we have close MiGs already? I don't know. Two miles to go to our next waypoint. Wingmen have come back into position, slotting in nicely. And there's Vinh just out off our nose to the right. And we roll over onto target, right off the nose now. The Ka River out in front of us. We'll pass over that on the way into the city.
Wolfpack 1, red ground. Copy.
All right, Wolfpack has hit their waypoint 4. That would be, I guess you could consider it a rendezvous point. You can see Lion Flight ahead of us, curving back in towards the city. Olds right behind us. I think maybe they're going off to the left, up to the northwest, somewhere perhaps. Several flights coming in from the north and east. You can see Tomahawk way up there. Okay, someone's firing Sidewinders already. That might be Lion Flight. And if that's the case, that means that we've got MiGs right off the coast of Vinh, which is close, close. I'm looking for a plume of smoke, in case that is down here.
Viper, lead, red ground, multiple bandits, 12 o'clock, 2 miles, Angel 10, heading south.
12 o'clock, 2 miles, that's right on top of us.
Bandits.
Somebody just saw a bandit somewhere. Where is it? Picking up AAA from down below. Whoa, missile just went right by. Another missile, head on. F4 right over the nose, closing. I'm just pulling hard to the right. There's that MiG, it's right behind us.
Copy that.
Holy shit, Flight 1, brake, brake, brake. I'm gonna cut down right in front of this guy and try to get him off my guys. Ooh, mama.
Copy. Red ground. All three. We're approaching on target. 5 minutes. All 1. Red ground. Copy. Too far to the going down.
Damn it, I got a shot off, but didn't have the deflection I needed, I think.
1. Red ground. Copy.
Flight 1, engage air, engage air. I don't know how many more bursts I have. I've fired a few seconds already. If I could get behind this guy. I'm looking at this AAA coming up at me, though. I ditched my bombs already. Did I? There we go. There's the jettison. Control J. Shit, I thought I dropped those off in the middle of one of those maneuvers. Alright, I'm heading out to sea here. Gotta get away from some of this AAA, but try to find where that... There's that MiG. He's out in front of me here. Alright, 2 still with me and 4 still with me, so that was 3 that we watched get shot down. Well, now we're over Vinh. I think I've lost, or jettisoned everything at this point. I wonder. Flight 1, can we engage ground, perhaps? There's an anti-aircraft gun. Attack my target. Oh, smoke plume behind me. I just saw it in my mirror. Oh, shit. Okay, there's another MiG. There's J5 up above me. Oh, is that him? All right, that That's a MiG right there. There's a friendly on his tail too. Oh shit, we're going head to head.
Target destroyed.
I think I just ran out of ammo. Son of a bitch.
2 off. Fox 1. Fox 1. Miles away. Fox 1. Fox 1. Target hit. Fox 1.
Right. Coming back around here, I'm pretty sure that I just fired a final burst. I've gone through my 60 rounds of 20 mil ammo. There's an F4 just passed left to right, trying to get a beat on this guy. Low speed over the top of this maneuver. A little bit of buffet going. Are we blacking out a bit too? It might be some high G's. We're just sort of a corkscrew with this guy. Oh, huge smoke down below. That strike on Vinh may have actually already taken place. I guess there's not really any point to staying in this fight with this MiG if I don't have any ammo left. Yeah, there we go. I wonder, can I... Unable. He's not gonna attack my target. Alright. Flight 1 rejoin. Shit, I'm getting slow and low here, right over the city. Alright, we're gonna duck out of it. Oh shit! Someone just took damage. Oh no, right there! Right there, that's one of my guys. He just lost a wing to flak. Oh my god. There he goes. He just impacted in the water, right in between these two enemy ships. Oh my god, did I just lose the whole flight? Nobody's acknowledging the rejoin order. I just saw J5 in the mirror. Yep, there he is, there he is. And somebody's chasing him. I go right onto the back of this guy. Man, I wish I had guns left. We're gonna give it a shot. Pun intended, I guess. I'm pretty sure I'm spent, though. Yep. Damn. Nothing. I got nothing for this guy. Shitballs. Man, if I just had 60 more rounds. Oh, wow! Woo! Alright, well, that went sideways super fast. Holy shit.
Copy that. Firing gun. Hello, gun ammo. Target hit. I'm out of this.
Heading east, we're going to head out to sea. Get my bearings, make sure the tail is clear, and then I guess we're setting course for home. We're up at 12,000 feet here. We'll keep it firewalled for a few more minutes. We'll get some miles behind us here. Alright, we'll do that waypoint.
Trout 1, Red Crown. Copy. Red Crown, Tuna lead. Hanson waypoint 7. Tuna 1, Red Crown. Copy that.
Alright, on course. Back to the boat. Wow, that was insane. My whole flight got wiped out. Those MiGs just tore into us out of nowhere. Even with Phantoms on their tails, they pressed the attack and just, man, it could not catch up to save the number 3 wingman. I thought that I had dumped my bombs. It turns out that I had not jettisoned them. I hit the wrong key, I guess. Now, it's possible that some of those guys might get rescued. I guess we're going to have to see when we get back to the ship, because the one guy, he went down over the ocean, the one who was taken out by flak. And that was crazy. Just ripped the whole wing off. It's possible that if he got out and landed in the water that he won't get captured, but the other two, I have no idea what happened to them or even when they went down. I guess if anyone is still around, return to base? No, I don't think there's any Viper flight left, just me. I would venture to say that this is a failed mission. I don't think that we hit enough of the targets to actually have counted that as a win. Although Wolfpack got through. Wolfpack is actually ahead of us by 3 or 4 grid squares, so they definitely carried out their strike. I just never saw it, and it's possible that all that smoke down on the coast, right in the dock area, was them.
Crab 1, Red Crown. Copy that.
And I heard at least wingman number 4 was making some runs on target, so I don't know. I guess we'll see if that ends up counting as anything.
Copy.
Oh, 41 lonely miles back to the boat. Jeez. Oh, down to 2,000 pounds of fuel. We're just under it, so that's a good sign. We'll be nice and light for landing because we still have to get this bird on the deck. So even though we just had a gut-wrenching mission back there, losing 3 of our guys under my command, we still have to make ourselves a good carrier landing as if it's, another day at the office. So, got to get our head on straight and try to make a good landing here. Geez, it flew by too. I mean, time-wise, we were on our way in. It felt like we were going to have a long time for Wolfpack to catch up. Next thing I know, we're over a ton of flak and getting ripped into by MiGs, and now we're on our way back already. I feel like it's only been like 3 minutes, but I know that's not the case. Yeah, it looks like the whole strike, all the flights are now, their feet wet, they're back out over the ocean. So yeah, the show's over. Now we just have to recover everybody. And hopefully, search and rescue is being scrambled and maybe they can do something for the guys that went down. There's 10 miles. And we'll start making our descent because we'll hit this waypoint and then we're doubling back to my right. So the ship is gonna be right about there. Nope, that's 4 aircraft. That actually might be Wolfpack. They're in a line abreast fighter formation, so those are F4s. One of the F4 flights. Oh, I think that's maybe the Coral Sea there, although let's get back inside. It looks a little big. That looks like a supercarrier size, not a Midway. How's our fuel? About just over 1,500 pounds.
Lion 1, red crown, copy.
I hear friendly engine noises somewhere. Can't tell where it is. Oh, does that say 65? That's the Enterprise. That's not supposed to be here. Oh, there we go. That's who I was seeing. I say Enterprise is not supposed to be here because we were on the Enterprise in the previous campaign, and their deployment ended. They should all be back in California at this point. I think they were stationed in California. I think they were in Alameda at this time. I don't know for sure without looking that up, though, but the Enterprise was stationed on both the West Coast and the East Coast multiple times throughout its career. When I was on it, we were out of Norfolk, so we were an East Coast carrier at that point, but certainly throughout the 80s, she was a West Coast carrier based out of Alameda, San Francisco. At this point, in 67, I don't know where she might have been. Could have been Alameda, could have been San Diego. Those would be the two big ones. Where is my ship? Okay, I see her on the radar. Oh, there she is. There's the wake. There's the ship coming into view.
Viper, please.
And there's our final waypoint. Hook is down and locked. There's our 350 knots and 1,000 feet. Finish the descent down to 800. And we'll pass by starboard side of the ship here. Man, you know what else sucks is in the middle of all that, I couldn't remember what my targeting controls were. I couldn't remember how to target air or ground targets. Not the best time to realize that you can't remember how to do stuff. Okay. Past the ship. And into the break. Holding right there, right at around 1,000 feet. On to downwind. under 200 knots. Yep, landing gear is good. A beam of the touchdown point into our turn. Now, once again, I think I'll stay a little high here through the turn so that I'll have a steeper descent angle so I can actually see the deck. Although this feels maybe a little excessively high. Speed brakes are out. Yeah, let's drop this down like a rock here. This is really, really high. If I can once again put the arresting gear just to the side of my gun sight, I can see where the landing area is. Here we go. Coming down for a good capture. Well, it definitely didn't look the best on the way in, but we greased it in at the last minute. Okay, so that's... How do I turn my... Radar is off. Flaps are up. Hook is up. Lights are off. Brakes are off. We'll taxi clear of the landing area. I see somebody on final behind me already, so we'll definitely get clear. Okay. Wow, so in just a matter of minutes, maybe 2 minutes, the stark realities of a combat mission can just catch up with you real quick. We've had a lot of good, easy missions so far, and this one just went completely sideways in an instant, a blink of an eye. Our objective was to suppress enemy air defense threats around Vinh. Well, we were over Vinh, and they were certainly shooting at us, so in that sense, we were distracting them enough that our strike aircraft got in. I don't know if you would consider us to have suppressed them necessarily, although flight time 35 minutes 19 seconds. It does say that the mission was aborted, but 4 primary targets were destroyed, so I mean, that's something. However, 3 A4 were lost for a failure score of 0. I was unable to do anything other than to do-si-do with those MiGs a little bit in some circles, but not really able to get a shot off. I did fire some rounds, but like I said, they basically ate up my entire magazine, and I was unable to get the killing shot later when I was in a better position. Stats. Oh, it was 40 rounds. I was saying it was 60 rounds, so I thought that I had 20 additional rounds even, more than I actually did. But no hits, no kills. I jettisoned everything else, so no other ordnance was expended. Ensign Freckleton fired 7 of his Hydra rockets, although no hits, no kills. Debrief fired nothing. He was unable... Oh, probably he was the first one to go down. And then Sprouse, he fired 7 rockets, and then also didn't hit anything, even though it told us that we got four primary targets. So maybe somebody else hit our primary targets then, which is even worse. Oh, this is just going to be a mess, but let's just sort of look for highlights here through the log. Oh, yeah, I mean, they were throwing the kitchen sink at us. Here's a patrol boat firing at us from the harbor, I guess, or from the pier side. 724, they're firing a machine gun at us. Here's 724. This is this J5 Fresco lighting up JG Debrief. And this was me coming down behind, right behind him. I fired 32 rounds of 20mm, so that would be like 95%, maybe even more, of my total rounds of 20mm was at this one burst, and I did not hit him. We continued through the maneuver, and then moments later, here he is firing at number 3. There we go. 7:24 and 58 seconds. He was hit, shot down near the Lok Chow PT boat base. So this happened, just for putting it into context here. Here's 7:24 and 58 seconds. Okay, so from right here, 7:24, 26 seconds. So from right here, from when this patrol boat is firing at me and the J5 is firing its first rounds, that's only from 26 seconds to 58 seconds. That was the entirety of time of that first encounter, from when the MiGs first dove into us. Number 3 is down. So what is that? That's 32 seconds, if I just did that math right real quick. A matter of 30 seconds, the mission was on target to make a nice approach, to start dropping ordnance over the city, to just complete pandemonium. Then it just continues from here, because now here's every gun on the planet just lighting up the sky around us. I mean, and this is at all of us. I'm getting shot at. Here's Freckleton getting shot at. Here's Sprouse getting shot at. Patrol boat is firing some more. These patrol boats are in on the action too, which is quite a lot, actually, which is crazy to think about. This just goes on and on and on and on. Here, okay, so here's Sprouse. He's firing his Hydra 70 rockets. So he gets a bunch of rockets off. Oh, and Freckleton. So they both fired at the same time. And here at 27:41, I fired my final 8 rounds of machine gun or cannon ammo at this J5 to no effect. And that was it. At that point, I was out of ammo. And this is only 7:27. This is only, again, like a minute and a half after all this has started. The guys fired. They did not hit any targets with their rockets. Here's Sprouse firing. He was making another run with his rockets. Oh, this, okay, 7:28:42. Freckleton hit by a 57 millimeter from the S68 cannon. So this was the ground fire that we witnessed. That 57 millimeter came up and just took him out, or 2 of them, I guess. He was hit by 2, blew off one of the Skyhawk's wings, and he augured in just off the coast, in between 3 ships. 1 was in port, 2 were out in the harbor. I said they were enemy ships because in my mind I was just assuming that they were not going to be friendly or even neutral. I mean, likely ships coming into the harbor there, although there was some neutral shipping. Certainly most likely you have either Vietnamese ships themselves or Soviet or like Cuban shipping. Maybe even Chinese shipping, although I have excluded them in the past from the water shipping because when they weren't intercepting and stealing equipment from the Soviets trying to get to Vietnam, they were sending their own equipment overland via train or truck, so they would not have really had any need for sending things on boats. But that's where that Skyhawk came down, right in between several ships that probably were not friendly. Freckleton was hit here, but all of this stuff continued to fire at him, so, which is not a good sign. He has not been reported as being shot down at this point, even though we know that he was just spinning in, which means he probably didn't make it. Odds are, yeah, 7:29:39. So this is where he actually impacted the water, which we witnessed, and it says that he was shot down near Vinh. But if he was still considered to be, quote, flying at that point as an asset, and everyone was still shooting at him, he did not eject. He just went into the drink with his plane. This continues on and on and on, until very finally at the end here, at 7:30:04, Sprouse was shot down near the PT base, the PT boat base, and that was just seconds before this J5 fired his final rounds at me. So I must have been out over the ocean, and then that guy was coming in behind me, and I think that's when I was maybe pulling up. So Sprouse almost made it out. He was shot down near this PT base. I don't see him getting hit by anything, though, so now I'm really confused. I mean, here he is. Here's an S60 firing at him, but there is no evidence of him being hit. Unless am I missing it in all of the confusing text here? No. Sprouse being fired at, a PT boat firing at Sprouse. Is it possible that he just maneuvered into the ground and bought it? Because he was not, this is not showing that he was hit by anything. But that was it. That was the end of all the action at 7:30, pretty much on the dot. So 6 minutes from 7:24 in the morning is when this first starts. So the course of 6 minutes, I lost 3 wingmen. The entire waterfront of Vinh was decimated by several bombing runs, and something like, I don't know, 10 MiGs got shot down. I couldn't even keep track with all the radio chatter. Looking at the roster here, though, and I've just clicked on this myself. Look at this. Sprouse and Freckleton are missing in action, as we were afraid of. But look, JG Doremus is wounded. He made it back to us. He was able to get fished out of the water and returned to the ship. He's down in sickbay with wounds of some kind. Who knows how long that'll go for, but he is alive and back with us. That which is, I don't know, that just makes me feel a little bit better that at least one of the guys made it back, because that was just so outrageous of a mission. So Terry is back with us. That was his 14th combat mission, by the way. Oh, Freckleton had 25. He had 25 missions, only 1 air-to-ground kill. Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for this one. This was an exciting mission, but definitely not a successful mission. But thanks for coming along with me anyways. This is the first time I've done this in quite a while, so getting back into the saddle here. And I think I'm going to maybe move right on to another mission here, try to knock a bunch of them out all at once, and start editing and, get a bunch of them out to you fine folks. So thanks for coming along once again. I hope you enjoyed it, and or at least was entertained by it. And come back next time, hopefully for a more successful mission back into Vietnam. We'll see you then.